A testing, 1, 2. What is up, my G Spotters? Welcome to another episode of Courtney G Spot. We are live on the last Sunday of the year. Woo! 2021 is over. Well, in a few days it's over, but this is the last episode of the year we're doing this year. So we're kind of bringing it all together. We're going to talk about, maybe have a year-end review, maybe go over some things you've learned, some things I have learned, some things my co-host has learned. Perhaps we will learn some things together. So as we progress into the new year of 2022, we will all be ready to take it head on. Because I know I'm ready. I'm so ready because my bags are packed. Things are filling up appropriately, and we're going to earn our way into the new year as the title has proclaimed. But thank you for being here live tonight with us. I know there are thousands of people waiting in line, and I know you got into the door first because that's why we like you. That's why we engage with you. That's why we want to talk to you and feel how your world is doing. And I say we, not just me and you, but this gentleman over here, DC, over here Googling stuff, and he's trying to figure out things to talk about. Perhaps, I don't know, he's talking to people. He's got his mic. He's ready to go. What do you have to say tonight, DC?
Merry late Christmas. We were going to do a live Christmas show.
Which was yesterday.
For the people in United States.
Yeah, in India, where we are. We celebrate Christmas over here. I don't know, do they celebrate Christmas around the world? Tell us, do you celebrate Christmas around the world?
If you celebrate something else, tell us that too.
Yeah, we'd like to know.
We don't mind.
We don't segregate.
Yeah, we try
discriminate.
to be culturally universal. I am from African and Mexican descent. I don't know if it's a normal Mexican thing to celebrate Christmas.
Is it a Hispanic heritage to also celebrate Christmas?
But I definitely know we will take any occasion to drink. So
yeah, at this point, I think any culture.
Christmas is just to get the family over and drink beer together.
Drink plenty of something.
For sure.
But yeah, celebration of holidays, anything that you guys do. We've got another one coming up in the weekend, the New Year's. I'm sure the entire world does that.
Yeah, I think everybody does New Year's.
Everybody does New Year's to transition.
Well, the Chinese calendar on their own.
Do we have anybody in China in the audience? What month, day do you celebrate your New Year?
Let's see when Chinese New Year's is.
But we will celebrate anything here.
We try to be universal, but we may not be well versed.
Yeah, we don't know everything. So to speak. But that's why we engage with our audience. We want to know everything. That'd be awesome to know. To know everything, man, that would be brutal.
So the Chinese New Year is February 1st.
February 1st.
So they do it 1 month later.
1 month later.
And I'm sure that's just when their calendar was created.
Do they say February?
Do they say February?
Do they?
I don't know.
Or they would say the Chinese word for February. I don't know. We're already getting into deep waters tonight, so we need you to save us, the audience. Again, the year-end review of what we've done, what we have become, what we've
touchy subject.
Learned.
YouTube does their yearly recap, and I don't think too many years they've got it right. Matter of fact, if you ask me, it's either 2019 or 2020 YouTube recap was the most disliked video on YouTube.
Oh shit! Why?
Sucks for some reason.
Why does YouTube recap sucks for some reason?
Let's see.
Did they talk? Where's my actual cup?
They don't. Oh man, maybe that's why YouTube did away with the dislike button because they didn't want their 2021.
YouTube was so vain that they cut out their own ability to dislike their own.
The button still exists, and I haven't fully researched the whole thing.
It's still there.
It's still there, yes, absolutely. But when you thumbs down it, it doesn't show you a number. Like it used to show you a number, and now it doesn't show you a number. It just kind of informs the person.
It's one. Everybody gets one dislike.
Everybody gets one dislike. But yeah, no, I guess it was seen as a form of bullying, basically, because they say that one of the main reasons they did it was to stop people from there's lots of channels in one genre. So say channel A says something bad about channel C, and then everybody from channel A will go to channel C's video and just leave hate comments and thumbs down the shit out of it, which thus then ruins their revenue and whatnot.
Okay.
And they didn't find that fair, that people would just hive mind flock to somebody's most recent video and thumbs down it.
Maybe that shouldn't give those people that kind of power. And if those people are the ones saying that, shut them down. Just an idea. You break the source.
But we already know that the YouTube algorithm isn't always the best.
Yeah, they don't really prepare or give a care about us. We've noticed. But that's fine. Again, like I said right before the show, this is more of a documentation of my rise to power, my own personal power, not like president or anything. I don't.
We're not trying to pinky in the brain this here, but
I don't want to take over the world. I want to help the world.
Right.
Absolutely. That's what I've been trying to do.
If we want to take over something, it's take over the fact that nobody helps the world.
Yeah. A few episodes ago, we did the 100-episode, $100 giveaway thing, and I did finally give the rest of that away. I was giving away some of it, but I had to wait to get certain bits unlocked, and I got paid in Earnhub. Earnhub. And that's what I have given away for the 100 giveaway. I got that person $65, and which at the time of the giveaway would have been worth 100, but it's gone down a little bit. But as we know, it just hit its floor at 65, 64, and now it's on its way. Already hit 90. And in fact, I don't know what it is right now. And if you don't know what we're talking about cryptocurrency. We talk about
crypto,
this.
You asked.
We talk about this a lot, and I cannot
wait. I
wait.
don't feel like anybody should ask.
Yeah, don't ask me that question. Really, go research and come back, and I'll tell you what I invested. And then you go research some more and decide if you yourself would like to invest in that. Because I am not a financial advisor, but I can tell you right now, I'm pretty...
For the record, me neither.
Neither is that guy.
Matter of fact, he's the one where I get most of the information from. I do exactly what he just said. He says, hey, I've been in this chat. This seems like a really good coin. Take a look at it.
Come bring it in. Go. Every single person I care about in my circle, I give them the information that is needed to do their own research. And then they come to me with questions, and I will answer them, or thus saying, go read some more shit right here, then giving you your answer, thus creating the circle of answers that everybody circles for. So, what are you looking at? What's
I'm looking at the chart.
He's looking at the chart for the Earnhub. And there's a reason behind this coin. And it's not just I invested in it. That's why I talk about it.
Right.
It's not just.
We're not trying to. And if you've been following Earnhub in any way, shape, or form, you know that they just recently finally got this coin off the ground. It took them a few test flights to get it going, but now it is in space. Not space, but it's in the sky.
Blockchain.
It's off the ground.
Blockchain.
It's in the chain.
It's in the chain.
Doing its thing.
In the chain.
People are getting their reflections.
Oh man, they get their reflections.
Some people are better than others. Me pointing at him, and I'm on the lower end of the totem pole.
But
yeah, that guy.
That's what. But I've got the people in my circle into this.
We're here
after they research
That's the
themselves.
important part is you got to be here. It's kind of like how rich people say that poor people don't get wealthy because they think every opportunity is a scam. Yeah.
Which I promise you in crypto, there's a lot of scams. And if you stick around here and ask me enough questions, I can lead you to how to find out what's a scam. I can figure this out real quick. It's pretty easy to spot a scam anymore, for me at least. So, yes, there's a lot of scams. But the ones I invest in anymore are not scams. And I don't go farther than, at this point, Earnhub, because they themselves have a system in which they vet tokens for scams. If they have an AnyFlex system where you can earn reflections in whatever token you choose. And with that system, you can insert a contract on the BS chain, and it will tell you if that token is a honeypot or what other ones could it be? Just a scam token, a possibility of being a scam, and it will warn you. Fantastic. Well, who does that?
And that
let me clear my throat.
Yeah. And that is basically just like a vague lie detector. Again, nothing is going to be an absolute source of financial advice except a paid financial advisor.
But the way the system works,
it kind of tell you, hey, there might be something going on here.
Because you can tell
bad.
It can tell if it's because it's the same kind of thing as Token Sniffer or bsscam.com.
Or just your own research.
Yeah, they can read the sales to be able to buy and sell. If you can't sell, it's a honeypot. That's a simple thing. That's an automatic, and it'll tell you that. But they also have tokens that you can reflect in that are already there that are fantastic. And then they have their mirror pools that you can just earn more.
And so, you might ask how a pool works. We'll briefly explain.
As a pool,
as a not very educated person on this, I feel like I can give you a good dumbed down version of it.
There you go.
So basically, think of like an IRA or your 401k, where your job also puts in a certain amount. So yeah, it's basically just like that. You put your money or your crypto in a certain spot, and you get what they call reflections. And what that does is it's basically like interest on a loan or something like that. As your money sits there, you get a return.
Which in this case is called the reflection.
Yeah, and how that works on their end is every time somebody buys or sells their particular coin, they take a percentage from that purchase, like think tax. But instead, and it's basically just like your taxes. If you get a tax return at the end of the year, that's what reflections are. They tax the person buying or selling, and then they take that percentage and they divvy it out to all the people that have their money or crypto in that certain spot, and you get your tax return.
Yeah, and your reflections.
So, I mean, it's pretty legit.
It's pretty awesome.
If you have a good amount of money in the pool, obviously you get more. A small amount of money, you get some. But you're getting something. So again, it's better to be there than to just be sitting at home playing video games like, oh, look at all those idiots.
Yeah, what do you do with your money? What do you do with your money? What do you do with your money? Do you invest it or do you buy shit that you don't necessarily need? I am not saying I don't buy shit I don't necessarily need. I spend most of my life doing this. I promise you, I was never good at managing money. Still not very good. But I'm getting way better. We're getting way better because we're about crypto at this point. And crypto teaches you essentially how to manage money because you've got to be able to hold.
Yeah, you cannot be what they call paper hands. You don't want to be paper hands, you need diamond hands. You want to hodl. Because if you're constantly just putting your money in for a second and taking it out, that's not going to get you very many reflections.
Nothing. That's why rule number one, you leave your emotions out of crypto because I know I have friends that like this, that I'm trying to get them to just hold on and calm them down, but it's very difficult for them because they're in dire straits. Like, I understand. I'm also in dire straits. I don't have a fucking car. I know what it is. I got it. It's the middle of winter, and sometimes when you have to walk to work, it sucks. But hold, because eventually you're never going to have to do this shit ever again.
Yeah. So imagine putting in just enough to know that you're going to get that amount that you need to buy a car, and then taking it right out. Okay, that's cool. You solved your current issue. But imagine putting in that amount of money and then holding it for a year or so.
6
Not saying that
you
always have to do that. Sometimes coins pop off for no reason. But
yeah. I've gotten to the point where I'm gonna be able to take out just a small chunk. I don't want to take a big chunk. Because the big chunk is there for the reflections.
Absolutely.
So I have my set amount. It's like less than 10%. I do not want to take more than 10% of my bag ever. And the only reason I would is to get my initial investment out, which at this point can purchase a vehicle. So,
speaking of purchasing vehicles and just random rich people sayings, such as poor people stay poor because they think every opportunity is a scam.
That is a fact.
Something else I learned that rich people say is that you shouldn't buy a brand new. So right now, you should not go out and buy that 2022 Honda or Mercedes or whatever you might be available to buy unless you have $1 million of net worth. Not your gross or anything like that. Just what you have available to you right now should be over $1 million because you're just screwing yourself, basically. I mean, it's like, let's see.
The amount of price jack up that you're getting off of that, unless you get one of those deals you see on TV, $20,000 on your truck with 0.0% whatever the crap. But that's like
which is
perfect.
Still a lie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. If you have credit like my mom,
perfect credit.
My mom could walk into any dealership and they run her credit, and immediately she owns the dealership. It's just
here's the key to every car on the lot.
Yes, Miss Paziak, you can drive anything you want. You need some food.
Yeah.
You want us to go get you some Starbucks. Do we need to like shine your shoes?
See,
You want us to raise your children? Like, it's ridiculous.
That's why I can't wait to have cash. I want to be able to walk looking like I do onto a car lot.
That was the best part.
With $20K in my pocket.
I remember going to a car lot with my dad. Not that my family is wealthy or anything like that. They just work really hard for what they have. Went to the car lot with cash in hand and said, I want to look at 2 cars, buying 2 cars today, period. And at first they were like, nah, we're not going to work with you because he didn't immediately say, hey, look, I got all this cash. He went to another dealership and we looked at some other cars because the first one was just like, I don't think we can give you any deals just because you buy 2 cars. And he was like, well, cool, then we'll go look at these other cars.
All right, I'll go somewhere else.
Then we went to the other dealership and they called back to the other dealership and said, hey, you know this guy is ready to make a deal. And they were like, oh, he's ready? They're like, send him back. Get him over here. No. What are we doing?
I don't want to go back.
Yeah. But we ended up going back because it was, we initially went
They had the cars you wanted.
Yeah, they had the cars we wanted.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we did loosely look at cars ourselves, like not with the people or anything like that. But we did have, my stepmom wanted something specific. And they were also getting a car for my sister, and they had a really nice car there for a good price way before we started making deals. So they were like, yeah, let's go ahead. And I was totally rallying for that car. Not to shout out anybody in particular, but I do really love my Hondas. That was the first dealership we went to. I believe we went to a Nissan dealership after that.
This guy. And his Hondas.
And my Hondas. I love my Hondas.
Yes, that's what I want to do. Walk in with cash, be that baller. It's like, I want that one.
But yeah, we went back.
Well, let me go run your credit, sir. No, you don't understand. You don't
Excuse
understand.
me. That's the one thing I've always wanted to do. Mr. Beast has done it just for ha-has, but I want to do this for reals. Like, I want to go just like paint a house one day and then go in to a dealership the next day in those paint-covered clothes because, you ever paint a house, you get messy.
I mean, I got clothes like that already.
Right. Me too.
That's most of my outfits. I don't have any new clothes.
But yeah, so just go in like to not that I would ever want to own one for very long, but like maybe lease a Lamborghini or something like that.
Yeah.
Just to say I owned one at one point in time and go into a Lamborghini dealership or something really nice. You remember that really fancy car dealership we saw when we were in Ohio?
God.
Yeah, man.
That place. Just every fancy car besides the
every single one. Just go in there and just start like walking close to stuff and they'll be like, no, excuse me, what are you?
Because they're all gonna eyeball you real quick.
Yeah,
I want to be in flip flops and like Jesus outfit. I want to have like raggedy clothes on and look like I just woke up in a ditch.
I'll wear the shirt that my cat attacked me in. It's got like 20-something holes in it.
Got some bee stings on my cheek or some shit.
Right. Maybe go roll around in some coals or something first. Like look like you just got done painting a coal.
And when they try to run your credit. Like, no, we're not doing that.
Listen. Sorry, sir. We can't.
Because they always want to do that before you test drive.
Right, absolutely.
No.
I get that. Matter of fact, the nicest thing I've ever test drove without like any rhyme or reason was it was actually ironic. I went into a Honda dealership one day. Where else do you go? Hondas, man. Where else am I going to go? A Toyota dealership.
So if you had that where you could drop stacks onto a car, what kind of Honda would you get? Oh,
man. At this very I really do like my S2000s. And that was actually the car that I test drove for no reason. It was a 2006. I want to say it was a 6. Don't quote me on this. I don't really remember. It was a long time ago. I think it was a 2006 Honda S2000 CR, which is their special model. It's their club racer model.
Okay. That's what the CR stands for.
Yeah. In their oh shit! I wanted to paint a car this color and I can't remember it right now. It's the special blue for the Honda CR. That's all I can tell you right now.
Was it under 20K?
No, I think they're right at 20K for the not popular ones.
So you'd have to have like 25 to drop cash, or if you walk in with 20K.
I mean, I'm sure we could work something out if I walked in with 20. But the CRs were rare back then, and they're even more rare now, especially in the special blue color.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably at least 30K to think that I was going to leave with it today. But yeah. So yeah, I walked into the dealership and I was looking at it because it just came out, and that's actually the only reason I was there. Is I was driving, and I grew up in this little town called Vallejo in California. If you know anything about Vallejo, it's not exactly the wealthiest place to be. There was some wealthy places around us. I'm sure you've heard of Napa, California, wine country out there. There was a smaller town called Benicia. That's kind of where all the older, retired, not so people live. Like, there's plenty of oceanfront property, but it's not exactly where you want to be in front of the ocean. So yeah, I don't think that there was any particular reason that this very special Honda model was just at this dealership,
right,
in the semi middle of the ghetto. Like, it wasn't the full ghetto.
But did they let you test drive it?
Oh yeah. So anyways, I'm sitting there checking out the car, and the seller walking up to me, and he asked me. He was like, greets me before I turn around, and says something about wanting to test drive it. And I went to turn around and immediately tell him, "Oh no, man! I'm just looking. I'm just a fan. I can't afford this car." And in the middle of the sentence, I realized that it's this dude. I can't remember his name right now. Saved my life. But we went to middle school together, and we were actually really good friends at the time. And he ended up going to a different high school.
Do you remember you?
Yeah, absolutely. Immediately. Like, once we turned around, we were like,
"Hey! Yeah. Hell yeah, I want to drive this car."
He was like, dude, what? So we touched bases and shit like that. And then he's like, "So do you want to drive it?" And I was like, I mean, I would love to drive it. But again, for real, I can't afford this car. I have no business looking at this car. And I definitely have no business test driving this car. But if you can get me in this car, bro,
I'll test drive this car.
I will absolutely test drive this car, 100%. And I totally went out to test drive the car. And actually, it's a funny story. I test drive the car, and he's like, "Dude, you can really drive." And this is like the peak of my dream almost happening. He's like, "You can really drive." And again, I don't know why they were talking to this dealership owner, but maybe because we were 15 minutes away from the racetrack. If you know anything about racing, I grew up 15, 20 minutes away from Sonoma Raceway, very popular racetrack.
I heard about that one.
So,
actually,
yeah. So anyways, we get done with the test drive, and he's like, "Dude, you can really drive." The Honda factory racing team is actually looking for new drivers right now. They're going to have these tryouts at Sonoma Raceway here in like the next amount of time.
Aww.
And yeah.
White women. And then he took off to Arkansas.
Yeah, right. No, hey, that's literally what happened. So I go out with the manager. He's like, "Dude, you are pretty good." He's like, "Let's get you set up with a time and a place." And so yeah, I was gonna go test, but for some reason, because obviously I was basically nobody in the nobodiness, they called me and said, "Sorry, all the spots are filled, and you weren't exactly high enough on the list into the pool that made it." And I was like, "Okay, cool, totally understand that. I get it." Because they would have had to full ride me. Like, obviously, I live 15 minutes away. It's not like they had to put me on a plane or anything. Right. But they would have had to like basically fully sponsor me. And so yeah, I was like, "Okay, cool, whatever." And at that, I couldn't find a job at the time. And eventually, my mom was just like, "You've been talking to this chick in Arkansas. You guys seem to be really hitting it off."
I'll use your mom's fault.
Yeah, so check this shit out, right?
His mom encouraged him.
If you ever see this, you know I love you. But yeah, funny story there too. So she's like, "I'll pay for you a bus ticket, but I'm not getting a refundable bus ticket." She's like, "I'm gonna get you a bus ticket. You're gonna get on that bus and you're gonna leave, right?" So we sit down, we agree, and we set the time up for a week later. And for the whole week, she just rips apart my decision. She's like, "Why would you move to Arkansas? Why do you want to go to Arkansas? This doesn't even seem like a good idea. Why are you going to go live with people you don't even know? I don't even know how that mother could let her daughter let somebody move from some other state, 2,200. I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Wait, you already did this, Mom. What are you talking about?
Who are you and what have you done with the other half of my mom?"
Right. Where'd she go?
The one that bought me the
bus
ticket.
Yeah, like, where'd she go?
What was her explanation for the flip?
I think just natural mom instinct. She didn't want me to move so far away into an
She was trying to encourage you to be you.
Yeah, she probably just didn't want me to leave.
And now you have 3 kids that she's never seen.
Yeah, right. And I'm trying to
come out here, Mom.
Year, but so yeah,
she won't come out here, will she?
I mean, we're still in the middle of nailing something down. It's all very up in the air right now. We loosely talked about a while ago about us coming out there.
No, yeah, but she's got to come here to see your new life.
I mean, that's true, but I don't know if with all the things going on, we won't say the C word, But with all that going on, my mom is like 73. She's really up there, so it really concerns her.
Yeah.
And I vaccinated myself was because I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to go see my mom if I didn't get vaccinated because she'd be so worried about that.
Right.
You know, fair enough. She's really old. That's who the most susceptible people are. I get it. And I'd feel really bad, too, if I went out there and my mom got sick and bad shit happened. Yeah. So I was all like, we'll totally do that. But now...
Yeah, with the new one from Perseon. Perseon 8. Go watch Futurama.
But yeah, if you know Futurama, you already know why we're laughing. But yeah, so I don't know how that's going to work out. And so I have to talk to them very soon about that. I hope we can work something out.
Well, let's hope this...
I'm starting to think that it'd probably be better for them to come out here. But yeah.
Yeah, because isn't California still on fire, or there's riots, or race wars, or some shit?
Matter of fact, if you don't know anything about California, let me give you an example of how dumb and shitty California is. So California has just banned the sale of generators.
Why? Because of the gas, it burns gas?
I'm assuming, yeah, because of the emissions. I didn't look too...
Did you know everything in California causes cancer?
Everything.
Everything.
Look at anything.
This is not a joke,
that
people.
It's not a natural food item. It's even some food items. If it has certain dyes in it, I'm surprised my Mountain Dew doesn't.
Yeah, there's some shit around here that in California causes cancer.
But yeah, no, like almost anything in a box will stay.
I saw that
$69
inside of the pool room where the pool supplies were at the apartment complex. I walked in and opened the door, and there was a sign on the wall that said, "There's stuff in this room that could, in the state of California."
Yeah, and everything is all like, this is known to the state of California, and I've always wondered, like, why is California the only one that knows?
Yeah,
this?
Who would get? Are they keeping it a secret?
Yeah, like, why don't they just let other people know about the dangers?
Or is it just to cover their own ass so they don't have to pay for people's shit as they get cancer? Because if you got cancer, you got too close to the sign. Which means, therefore, you didn't follow the directions of not getting too close to the shit that causes cancer.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Generators cause too much cancer, so they had to just cancel that. They're like, we can't even put a sign on this anymore. We just can't get rid of them. But yeah, no, that's how stupid California is. And especially right in the middle of, like, because things do normally catch on fire, and that screws up a lot of stuff. They have rolling blackouts. The day after Christmas, fucking blackout. Right after, like, a month after they banned the sale of generators. So I think you can still own a generator. I'm not sure about the logistics of, like, going over to Nevada real quick or down to Mexico and being like, yo, let me get it. Yeah. Can't sell them. So, I mean.
So in order to get a generator, they have to get in their vehicle and burn fuel to drive across state line to get a generator to burn more fuel to bring it back to burn fuel.
And I actually haven't looked into this completely, but it does make sense to me. One way or another, the only way you can charge a Tesla is from a giant diesel generator or the production of electricity, which are both still bad for the environment.
Yeah.
I thought the whole point...
that's what part is wrong with Bitcoin and the crypto. That's why everybody's like, it is bad for the environment because it's generating so much electricity. Well, what happened to solar power?
Yeah, I mean, I thought California at this point was covered in solar panels.
I thought they were.
I know Nevada has a shit
ton
of solar
panels. I thought they were giving away for free, like a tax rebate for some shit like that if you have solar panels in California.
Not for free. I think there's
some
kind
for free,
of deal
but like
you can get to get them installed for a very low price, and then, yeah, you get like a tax credit every year.
I would totally do wind and solar if I had.
Oh, but you can't put up a windmill on your own property because there's height limits in California.
Because of the ugliness.
So you wouldn't be able to get it high enough to get full profitability off of your windmill. I mean, could you in the backyard? I mean, like,
that'd be awesome because you generate your own power.
And it's usually windy in California, hence why we have so much of wildfire.
Yeah, you've been to Sacramento? That place is windy as fuck.
but no, they could put windmills up all over the place. Like, I think I drove by like 2 or 3 wind farms, basically, as we call them in California, on my way to my dad's house. 40 minutes from Vallejo to Tracy. And yeah, you go through the Altamont Pass down there, and there's just wind farms. Yeah. That's all you see is windmills. Which, I guess in the middle of the mountains isn't a terrible thing to look at.
With this country, as much as the people scream like for help and all this. The government doesn't give a shit. Like there's that woman in Africa with the plastic, and they're squishing plastic into bricks and making it. You can build houses and shit. Why is this not a normal thing in this country? And why is there still plastic that's not recyclable?
It is 2021. We can come up with vaccines in 6 months.
You cannot take all your plastic to the recycling place. They will yell at you. These clamshells and the plastic for like the eggs and the whatever. Anything that has not been blown into shape is what I've learned. If it's molded into shape, it cannot be. It has to be blown into shape because it doesn't melt right. So why aren't we accumulating all this and doing exactly what Africa is doing and making bricks?
Speaking of melting things, so I'm sitting, a little TMI, I won't get too into detail, but I'm sitting on the toilet earlier today, and I get a video from my girlfriend outside because the kids were playing. Hey, what's up? Hold on, let's answer this real quick. I feel like natural onion farms are still a big thing, but because of expansion and they get so big, it eats up the energy very quickly. Okay, I see what he's saying. So basically, it's like inflation. So it gives us an ability to create more, and then we create more. Mm-hmm. So then it's basically a negative effect instead of a positive effect.
Well, on something like that, can't you just have like runoff? Like you can't just more than you can sustain. You talk about like an overabundance of power saved. Is that what you mean?
Well, no. It's so like, say you build a 3,000 square foot house and you buy an air conditioner for a 3,000 foot house, and then you add on to the house, making it 6,000 square feet.
I got you.
And then the system can no longer provide.
When I was reading that, I would like a large level. I didn't think individual level. I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
So people build over their needs, and then yes, I got that part. But that's what I think. Especially with like if you add multiple, like you do wind and solar, and then you have the battery, then you just add to your batteries because then you could just store more, thus, and then at the point you don't need to generate more, so you can turn off your wind turbine or whatever if your batteries are full, because they have those in between things, whatever they are that sit in between your batteries and your windmill. And that would sit there, and you would see how much power you're storing, and because it would have to push. You wouldn't get power directly from the windmill. You wouldn't get power directly from the batteries. You have the box, essentially your power box in the middle. So you could,
I dig it.
I feel like at this point
I haven't found the word for, but I know what you're talking about.
Yes, there's so much.
But yeah,
but that's the kind of stuff I want to get into. That's what I would like to do. I would like to take money and develop things like that. Bring that entire plastic idea. That is very amazing. You would just smelt.
That's not fair. We haven't gotten any bad connection.
Yeah, it's fine.
Notifications. Shit happens.
I don't care.
We've had like 0 concurrent viewers.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit about this one. We're just talking.
Right. Just after Christmas.
But yes, take that entire plastic smelting idea and make reusable bricks, and just make pallets of these bricks and then sell them. Because why not?
Yeah. I mean,
or use them to build homeless shelters.
Something. That's another thing. There seems to be a lot of homelessness. I don't know about other countries. They don't really talk about it. Maybe that's just not their forte. I would love to see China's homeless rate because they've got so many people there.
I'm sure it's bad. I'm sure we talk
about it because it's not crazy like out here. They don't allow people to stand on the side of the highway, which is completely legal in the state of Arkansas. They decided that, hey, those people should be able to do whatever they want.
They can panhandle.
And I guess that's really what it boils down to is the freedoms.
Freedom.
Like, if you're not inhibiting somebody, basically, which I don't know how much inhibitance is standing on the side of the road with a sign.
They don't stop and they don't pester. I mean, they're there. The only ones I ever usually give money to, I know it sucks to say, are the ones with no legs.
Oh. There is this one dude here in the town.
I think he's a vet.
I don't know,
If
but
the
the
one-
guy that sells water.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
He won't take a donation. He only
He
sells
will
water.
not. As a matter of fact, the first time I seen him, I was like, "Nah, bro, here you go. I don't need a water. Just take the $5." And he looked at me like I just slapped his infant child or something.
No, he's a businessman.
He's like, "No, I will not take your money."
No.
He's like, "I will sell you a bottle of water,
Absolutely.
and if you want to give me $5 for the bottle of water, I will take it. But I will not just take your money."
Yeah.
I'm like, bro.
Okay.
So I give him $20 for a bottle of water.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, I don't give a shit. Okay, bro, I feel you. Like that's
legitimate.
Yeah, it's legitimate. He's not just out there,
And I put money on it. He was probably an ex-con or something like that. Can't get a job because if he has that kind of work ethic, just to do that on the side of the road.
And it's too easy to become a felon nowadays. Like,
Too
so
easy.
many things can get you a felony.
Especially in this stupid state.
So yeah, I'm surprised I don't have a felony out of California yet. But it's only been like 13 years since I've owed him $2,500. But that's cool.
I put money on it at this point. It's gone. 7 years.
No,
7 years is a statute of limitations for like 99% of everything. That's even on your credit.
But so here's the deal. It's because it's a traffic fine. It can't go away because it has to do with my liberty of driving. But so
He just hasn't looked into it for a long time.
I call him like every 3 years and say, "Hey, I still owe you money."
So 3 years ago is the time to call him? Yep.
I
We'll do
don't
it in
know when
January.
the last time I called him was exactly.
Once we earn that hub money, hub reflection money.
Yeah, I get deep into this Earnhub pool. Like,
money?
no, I have to show up.
You have to show up.
because I have to go get a new
Driver's
like, a
license.
whole new, driver's license in the state of California. So I'd have to be there personally.
You don't even look like you're old to you. How would they know?
But here's the fun part. So the last time I called them, I was like, "So how much do I owe you?" And they're like, "Well, you owed us like $2,700 or $2,800, something high twos." But they're like, "Somebody made a $700 payment, so now it's just like $2,200." And I made that same face, and I was like, "Do I dare ask?" And I was like, "Nah, we're gonna let it ride."
Maybe that somebody has made another payment.
Right. Hey, who knows? I call this time. Hey, dude, you only owe $1,000. Like, bro, I will.
We'll get that real quick. We'll get that real quick. Yeah.
But no, so actually I kind of shot it's 50-50.
Wait a minute. If somebody paid money without you being there.
So I'm sure anybody can put money on it. But
there you go.
As long as they know who I am. But I still couldn't get my license back without physically going there.
That's fine.
So after the fine's paid off, I have to go pay the reinstatement fee.
Yeah.
And then thus to be reinstated, I have to get a whole new license in the state of California because until I get a new license,
Do you have to take the test again now that it's been so long?
I probably would have to.
You suck.
Yeah. So
he's never going to drive again.
No.
Legally, at least.
Yeah, not legally. I mean, it's really not that bad if you have the money up front, at least at this point, because it's almost like a get out of jail free card. Because no license trumps almost any other infraction you can do on a normal basis that doesn't equal a felony. So I could run a stop sign on purpose and say, just fuck that stop sign. The moment they find out I don't have a license, everything
that stop sign doesn't matter.
Yeah. Everything like, hey, no license, done.
Just punch that cop in the dick. No license, no license. Yeah. It's like, oh, shit.
So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's really not that bad. Even as somebody who's very poor, and this is why I owe so many people money. I owe the city of West Fork here in the great state of Arkansas probably like $1,300 at this point. If you don't pay it off right away, it kind of sucks. But I mean, I think it's only like a $500 or $600 payment, and I don't get pulled over very often. Matter of fact, the last time I got pulled over like 2 or 3 years ago was the first time I've been pulled over in the state of Arkansas since I moved back, like 13 years ago.
Well, at least you're not paying that often enough to where it would mathematically equal out as much you would have to pay to get your license, because that would be
right. Yeah, no, that'd be dumb.
That'd be dumb. But we'll get it taken care of. We're going to get him back legal. We're going to get everybody reflecting.
But so what ultimately happened with that is I was in California. Obviously, this is how you get pulled over in California. And I lived there at the time. I moved to Arkansas, and then I moved back because it wasn't working out living in our family's house at the time, and I didn't have anywhere else to go.
So you had a second chance.
Shut up. I'm so glad Tisha doesn't watch this show. Or my mom.
Not this episode.
Yeah, not this one. You just skipped 102.
Yeah,
We're on 102 or some shit like that. No. So in March or April, I get the ticket. And what happened is I was selling the car I was driving at the time. I just called the junkyard, and that's who I was selling to, the junkyard, because it was done. I called the junkyard, so I had all my paperwork in the house because we were on the phone, giving all the information about the car, yada, yada, so they could give me an estimate and shit. So I was like, okay, well, I'm getting rid of the car in a few hours. I should probably go to the grocery store real quick. Mm-hmm. So I go to the grocery store, and on the way back from the grocery store, I may or may not have been speeding.
One last time.
And I say may or may not have because the cop didn't radar me or anything. Matter of fact, give me one of these. So I was traveling down Street A, and yeah, either way. And then the cop was coming down Street B, and he was like 3 or 4 blocks down Street B and saw me fly by through the intersection on Street A.
Oh, shit!
Yeah, came and found me. And I don't even know how he knew it was me. If he, by his own words, said I flew by like a rocket. I was like, so out of all the cars you saw after you turned on this road, you picked me, which just happened to be the right one. And what it turned out to be was my car was really loud.
But you could just tell bullshit. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
And they caught me at the red light.
Yeah, it wasn't me. But it is. He said he didn't radar.
He didn't radar me.
And he just randomly picked you out of the crowd.
He said, yeah, he was like 3 or 4.
You were just rewarding him for picking the right nutshell.
Hey, that's detective work.
Yeah, that's there. Like, that one, get him.
Deal.
I'll take that. Shit, I mean, he was right.
So yeah, I think that's probably what it came down to was just utter respect.
Okay, you caught me.
I was like, dang, dude, okay.
You came in and you caught me red-handed.
So yeah, March or April, get my ticket. I go home, and I'm looking at the ticket because I'm like, shit, now I got to go to court. When's the court date? It's in September on my birthday. So naturally, 6-7 months later, I forgot. And I did not wake up 6 or 7 months after getting a ticket on my birthday and say, oh, shit, I got to go to court today. Right. I did not. And back then, you didn't get, like, notification emails or anything.
No.
Like, hey, you got to come to court today.
Yeah. You might have got a letter in the mail. You didn't get a letter in the mail?
No, not to my knowledge.
No.
But,
see, that's kind of what I did with my ticket in California. But I didn't live there like you did, and I was never going back, so it didn't matter.
Well, at that point, I had gotten
it wasn't a car
date.
ticket.
I didn't realize. So I missed it on that day, and then shortly after moved back to Arkansas. And it wasn't until I moved back to Arkansas that my mom calls me, and she's like, hey, you got a letter in the mail from the courthouse. And I'm like, interesting. Still didn't click. I was like, okay, well, open that shit and tell me what it says. I don't want to wait for you to mail it to me to the courthouse wants. And I was like, just open it real quick and tell me what it says. And it's like, oh, you missed the court date on your birthday. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That was the first time I called him, and I was like, hey, so I'm not there anymore. I just need to know what I can do about that. And they're like, basically, if you don't come to a court date, we can't do anything for you. And I'm like, I can't afford to fly back out there or anything like that to come to a court date. I was like, I can't pay over the phone. You got to be here, yada, yada, yada. So, yeah.
Could you retake the test here?
I tried. No, it didn't work. Totally went in full
blind
bullshit. Yeah, I was just like.
What about how many years ago did you do that? Remember, 7 years.
5 or 6 now.
Try it one more time. I'm just saying. If it's been 13 years since this has happened.
Well, no. So here's the second part to all that. So then, shortly after, I got told that I'm red flagged in the whole system because that's what I thought, right? When I first got pulled over in the state of Arkansas, I legitimately had a California's driver's license, but never got one here.
Right.
So when he pulled me over and I gave him all my information, because, I don't carry a fucking wallet, never have, try not to, unless I'm going somewhere important and I need money and yada, yada. Actually, I do have my wallet on me right now. But, so I didn't have my wallet on me, so I didn't have a physical ID to give him. And I gave him all my information. So he goes back to the car and he comes back in a pissy mood and he's like, why'd you give me fake information? I'm like, no, sir. That is not what I did. I'm like, you want to go run my shit again, please? And we confirmed the information. He went and ran it. And I was all like, dude, I don't know what's going on, but I swear to you that I have a valid driver's license in the state of California. And he was like, oh. He's like, you should have started with that. Because the deal is I guess California being California and all their communists, they don't talk to any other state.
Because their words can cause cancer in the state of California.
Words can cause California.
Okay.
So, yeah, he had to physically get on the phone, call the California DMV, have them look me up, and then do all that. Blah, blah, blah. And then, so he had to issue me, if you know anything about the state of Arkansas, they can issue you a license to give you points on that license, whether you have a license or not. Whether you've ever had one or never had one, they can issue a license right on the spot to ticket you against that license so they can get money out of you. Yeah. And that's just what they've done every time. And that's why basically Trump's. So I go from immediately not having a license to having a suspended license, which is a lot worse than, or better than not having a license in general. But yeah, so they didn't talk. And that's why I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to the DMV. We're going to try to, use this they don't talk thing.
But that was 5 years ago.
So yeah. But yeah, that was 5 years ago. And then like a year or two later, I don't remember how I found out about this, but it breezes across my news that the state of California is no longer, including prior offenses, going to suspend or revoke driver's licenses based on traffic fines. And I was like, I finally did it. I outweighted you fuckers. Fuck you. So, I'm out of here. But if you fail to appear, that does not apply to you.
So you have to still show up.
I still have to show up. So because I technically failed to appear, even though I tried to call and write it all. If you're not here, it doesn't count.
I still try to do the DMV thing here in Arkansas now. It's been that long. I mean, even Google resets after a certain number. There's shit on Facebook I put years ago that is not there. So,
well, you see, I got to get all my stuff right with West Fork first before I can actually try to go back.
Whatever.
Because now they'd probably just be like, you know what, West Fork needs to talk to you first.
So what did you guys learn this year? If you sat through his entire history lesson of his carditude, what did you guys learn?
Don't drive without a license.
What did you do this year?
Yeah, what was great about your year? Let's hear your own recaps. Leave down in the comments things you might have learned this year.
I want to see somebody make it to this point in the episode and maybe something to comment. If you make it to this point in the episode after all the shit we didn't just randomly talk about tonight since we had nobody watching, I'll send you some crypto. But you have to make it here and you have to acknowledge it.
Tell us something.
Tell me something.
Tell us something you learned this year. Maybe you got yourself into crypto and you've been teaching yourself crypto and now you're profiting off of crypto.
The only way you're going to earn this, I'm not going to advertise this. This is just this moment. You have to catch this moment right here. If you don't, crypto.
That's it.
We're trying to gain some followers because we do engage with our people and we could be entertaining.
Absolutely. And if you want to know more about crypto or maybe be helped shown the light, you can follow this gentleman on almost every single social media that exists.
BabyJesus 816.
Twitter, Telegram,
Instagram.
Are you on TikTok yet?
I'm not. That's that on TikTok. I run the Earnhub TikTok. I run the Earnhub Instagram. I'm an admin for Earnhub. I talk about them all over Twitter. And again, it's all about the reflections and what the devs. It's knowing the devs. I don't necessarily invest in just the cryptos anymore. It's the people who create them. The passion that these people have for their product is unreal. Astro, Wolfie,
it's basically like investing in a new company.
Yeah.
He doesn't simply just find stocks that exist. He finds
new
companies and investigates their white papers and their mission.
You're sitting in the room with Elon while he's talking about Tesla in the 90s. You're sitting in the room with Bezos when he's talking about Amazon. You're sitting in the room with these guys that are creating something that has not been done before, and they're perfecting it right now, and they're making it amazing. And they're giving out so much money because of the little boo-boos. But again, what company didn't crash in the beginning? I mean, Tesla, he threw a hammer through his window. His truck, his indestructible truck, he threw a hammer through the window.
As a matter of fact, if you know anything about Elon's story, Right before Tesla took off. They were basically bankrupt.
Yeah.
They were done. They
Oh,
had
yeah.
no more money to invest or spend or anything like that. They were tapped the fuck out.
Yeah.
Dunzos.
Yeah.
And then breakthrough.
Yep. And that's what happens. You got to trust the people. You see their passion. You see what they actually can do. You see the intelligence, and it goes from there. And with them, you just earn more. We're just stacking our wallets at this point. To the next 5 years is going to be amazing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, this next 6 months to a year is going to be incredible in itself just to get started. I mean, we got Pi, of course, is about to take the flag off. Once they get KYC done, it's over. You see what the outline for that is. Obviously, KYC, and then they're going to be able to withdraw X amount to be able to exchange for goods, like on the Pi Chain Mall, the Pi to Go, and then potentially the mainnet will start, but it'll be officially unlocked completely.
Speaking of which, I know you need a car really bad right now, but maybe that's what you should wait for, is
Right.
Pi to drop it, then get on the Pi Ball.
Get a fancy
and
Pi.
then, go buy a...
Now, at first, the Pi Chain Mall is only going to be per country, so you can only buy stuff for sale. But
you talk to the people that run the U.S. Pi Chain Mall, right?
Mhm.
So it exists, and it's going to be existing.
Yep. So we'll be able to buy things in the United States, America, just like eBay, but with Pi. And I'm real close to that 50,000. I'm like 49,580 or something.
What do you have actually, though?
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Now I have over 4,200 I can pull right now because there's nobody's KYC really. But that's pretty awesome if I've had 4,200 that before anybody's KYC. But that's my current total. But if you go into here, no. You go in, wait, it's here. And the mainnet, we're doing Pi stuff. You guys should get into Pi. And then you go here to, This is going to be cool. They're going to be able to show who gave you what amount. You're going to be able to see. There it is. And there. So that's what I'm waiting on. That's what I'm able to get.
I mean, even that.
That's alone
That's
itself.
a nice amount. Just seeing
nice amount.
Pi
That's
Chain
$10
Mall
a piece.
before. Oh yeah.
That's $42,000. And so that's again before.
So now, now
KYC.
that you said that, and I trust your ability to incite things, I did see on the Pi page a while back that somebody was like, "There's no way it's ever going to go to $10." So where do you pull $10 from?
The consensus. With they're trying to create their ecosystem before that gives a price. So consensus is between $10 to $100. And with consensus, at this point, with their own ecosystem, if they have their own app, you're going to be able to buy a car because I'm selling a car for this, and I say it's worth 200 Pi because I believe it's worth $2,000. In my head, my value is that because in consensus right now, that's what it is. But that's what the ecosystem comes.
Which is fair enough because
they've created their own blockchain. They have their own blockchain.
If you ask the same question about like $40-something thousand right now, and like every semi-intelligent person says that $100,000 is not unspeakable.
Yeah, it's because of supply and demand.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what it boiled down to. Actually, we had a nice semi-in-depth conversation about it at my local hobby shop. And that's what we were talking about is the whole supply and demand. If you know anything about Bitcoin, it has to be mined. And the only way to mine it is with very intelligent computers. And that's why it's not exactly eco-friendly because it takes so much electricity to run so much computing processing to actually, it's like basically impossible for the normal person.
So you can't. So that's why all the rich keep getting richer.
Exactly.
They give the ability to, we got people in Nicaragua. And all these Ecuador, all these poor countries.
And this guy mined almost 50,000 loosely on his cell phone.
So and then they did it intelligently. They released their ecosystem first. They gave it a use case and let the world decide what they want to do with it first, especially the Asian countries, especially China.
And that's actually a really good thing. So if they continue to only let it be mineable, and they don't ever let you can you buy it? I don't know.
Not yet.
No, so you can't buy it. And I'm assuming
and you won't be able to buy it until mainnet. And that still might be 3 months away, the full mainnet. Because they're going to release so you can trade first. We're going to give it a value first. People are going to put a value on it, that's the best part. That's why I believe $10 minimum. Maybe it'll go lower. Maybe the consensus will be 2, 3, 4, 5. But
Still,
that's a lot.
Awesome. Now,
because everybody wants it to be $100 a piece.
Trying to stay on the same subject, but use up the last 5 minutes. Back to Earnhub.
Yep.
When, where, how, and why? Like, obviously, it's already worth what it's worth, but how is it going to reach what somebody would consider an incredible amount?
So, with a $35 trillion circulating supply, in order to reach $1, it would have to reach a $35 trillion market cap. Not quite feasible. So we start moving back a couple zeros. 1 decimal place, that's 10 cents. Another decimal place, that's a penny. At a penny, that would be a $350 billion market cap. That's a lot. So even that's still kind of up there. We'll move one more to 2 zeros
But,
1.
Don't quote me on this, but isn't Dogecoin?
No, 20 billion.
Oh,
Doge
that's
is
20 billion?
So if we pull it back to Doge level, that would be 2 zeros 1.
How many Dogecoins are available?
And that would put it at 2 zeros 1, which would be a $3.5 billion market cap. Or $35 billion market cap with 2 zeros 1. Right now it sits at 5 zeros 9 or almost 4 zeros 1. If it got to 3 zeros 1, that's only a $3.5 billion market cap. 4 zeros 1. And I say only because Doge and Shiba are 17, 19, $20 billion market cap. Doge might be 20, Shiba might be 22. They might have moved around since the last time I looked. But that's plausible. 4 zeros 1, or I'm sorry, 3 zeros 1 and 3.5 billion.
Yeah. So Doge has a current circulating supply of 132 billion, and its market cap is 25 billion.
But see, but they're up to what? How many cents?
They are currently at 19.
The difference. That's because of the market, the circulating supply.
Yeah,
so that's why you add zero.
$600 million a day.
Yeah, but that's part of the thing with Earnhub. That's the best part. It's not necessarily always about the price. Yes, of course, the more you hold, the more you get. But it's all about the daily volume. If they can get to $1 to $2 million trading per day, once the taxes start going down, once they get everything rolling out towards we start getting our bags back, that's when this should start kicking in, and that daily volume really kick in. That's where the reflections come in. That's where it is, because it's all in the buy and the sell. It's the taxes on the buy and the sell. You don't just necessarily get more just for holding. It's all in the buys and the sells. So as people buy, we make money. So as people sell, we make money. So either way, we always want our price and our total bag value to go up. But in this world, you don't necessarily want to sell anything. You want to hold, because that gives you more reflection. And gold would be $100 a day in reflections. That'd be pretty awesome. Make $700 a week in crypto. I can do that. So I want to earn that. So I think with my full bag at $1 million a day, I could make $1 million volume a day. That's close to
what was first day's volume?
500. But we didn't have our full bag. But I don't know. We only had 10% of our bag, so you'd have to multiply what you had times.
But it was still reflecting off your total.
Correct. No. It does not reflect off your total vested. You only get what you have in your wallet. Now, this is for old holders, what I'm talking about right now.
So hold the hell on a minute. I'm about to shit myself. You're telling me that you made what you made in the first 48 hours off of that initial 5K?
Yeah.
Are you fucking shitting me?
No.
Shut the show off right now. We're done.
See what I'm saying?
I'm done.
See what I'm saying?
I'm done.
Once they release everything.
I'm done. Hold
you
the
guys
hell
have been
on.
amazing.
Oh, yeah. Hey, live it fully every day. Goodbye.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm
Are
saying.
you shitting me?
We only got 10% of our bag. And those vested tokens, and even the ones that are available to pull out, we're not earning off of. It's only the ones we have in our actual wallet, which essentially we have staked. So it's technically what's in the pool. But yes, we're getting reflections of those tokens only.
Dang.
Y'all need to get in on this shit. I'm not joking. Not financial advice, but if people that were trying to retire took part of their retirement money, let's say you had $50K in retirement, and you took a fifth of that, $10K, and dropped it into Earnhub, you're going to make some pretty sweet money once these reflections really start kicking.
And that's why I'm done, because he doesn't want to talk full numbers, but he has a lot more than what he has available to him right now. And
I can't wait.
Shit.
I can't wait. And it's slowly just going to be released. And as the value goes up, it's in the next few months. My birthday is going to be unreal. I told my son I want to take him to Disney World for my birthday. Because it's summertime. His birthday's in the winter. I want to do some summer shit. So I told him I want to take him to Disney World. Or actually Lego World. Down in...
Do both.
Both. Yeah, we'll just do both. Oh, I'm so excited. Earnhub, guys. I'm not joking. Get into the chats. Follow me on Twitter, BabyJesus816. If you made it all this way, go back a little bit because you just passed the part, which I'm sure if you saw this, then you saw that. And you'd understand what that was because now you're hearing this. So
go find that.
Yeah.
You want to know what that was about. We're not going to tell you again because
you probably could have just fast forward here. But you got to find what we're talking about and you'll earn it. So you guys have been great. Thanks all of you for being
our whole 3 likes.
I want to see our hourly or how much.
Oh man, we're gonna have like no watch time tonight.
15 minutes.
But I feel like I've seen the number go 0100101 a bunch of times, so we're gonna get a bunch of clicks. But I don't think we got any reflection tonight.
But whatever.
Either way,
you guys, happy New Year. We're gonna be back next Sunday on the New Year with.
We'll be back. Is it literally we're gonna be back next year?
I would be on the second.
Can we be silly and say that?
We'll see you next year.
Yep, we will see you next year.
So you guys, thank you for hanging out with us for all this time. Remember, next year is going to be amazing because of all the money, all the crypto, and we're about to get the game on. This is going to change the channel too, by the way. We're just going to need drones to follow us around. It's just going to be the way it is. But you guys have been great. Thanks for being here. And to end this year, we'd like to say a few words. The only you need to be is you. Every year. If you invest in Earnhub, you can do this next part. Oh, yeah. To the fullest. Absolutely. Live it fully every day. Get you some crypto, guys. Do your own research, and we will see you next year. Baby Jesus, 816.